Welcome back to the fourth installment of the Ionic Educational Series. In this video, we're going to teach you everything you need to know about lending assets on Ionic. The basics are straightforward, but there are some important details to understand. We'll cover everything so that after watching, you'll be ready to make your first transaction. First, navigate to the Ionic Markets page using the menu bar. Once there, confirm you're on the Mode network and in the main market. Once confirmed, you're ready to go. Now let's learn how to supply an asset to Ionic. For this example, we're supplying ETH. ETH is a little different than other assets because we first have to wrap it in order to use it with Ionic. To wrap your ETH, click on the Wrap button and then enter how much ETH you want to wrap to WETH. Note, do not select max because you need to leave some ETH in your wallet to pay for transaction fees. I'm going to enter 0.05 ETH and click Wrap. From here, use your wallet to confirm the transaction, and after a few seconds, the Continue button will appear, indicating that the transaction has been completed. Go ahead and click Continue. Now, we're ready to actually supply wrapped ETH to the Ionic market. Supplying is simple. First, find the WETH icon in the asset category. You may have to scroll down to find it. Once you find it, move to the right and click on the green Supply Withdraw button. When you do that, a window will pop up where you will execute the transaction. Select the Collateral button. This is important to enable your supply to be used actively within the pool and actually earn yield when others borrow your assets. We'll talk about withdrawal later. We want to supply all of our wrapped ETH, so go ahead and click the Max button. When you do that, the amount will fill in automatically, and the market supply balance field will update to let you know the total amount of wrapped ETH you will have supplied after the transaction completes, as well as the updated APR based on your supply. Remember, from an earlier episode, we mentioned that APRs can vary based on what users are supplying and borrowing. This supply won't affect the APR too much though, because it's so small, but its size, it will show a variation. You'll see a graphic of the total supplied on the pop-up as well. This is just informational. Below that, you will see a toggle labeled Enable Collateral. This toggle tells Ionic that you are giving the OK to use this deposit as collateral for any borrowing you might do. Even if you aren't sure you are going to borrow, I recommend that you go ahead and enable it here, just in case. This will also enable the asset to earn yield in the pool. After that, you are ready to supply the wrapped ETH. Hit the Supply WETH button and confirm the necessary transactions in your wallet. You could have up to 3 different transactions to confirm depending on if you have used Ionic before. There could be one to enable the transfer of wrapped ETH to Ionic, one to enable the wrapped ETH as collateral, and a final one to actually supply the wrapped ETH to Ionic. Once all those have been confirmed, you will see the Continue button, as well as a message at the bottom of the screen that your wrapped ETH has been successfully supplied. Always make sure you fully read the approval prompts and confirm only transactions you recognize and intend to execute, and avoid just clicking through transactions rapidly to avoid getting scammed in case of a compromise. Now, go back to the menu bar and click on Dashboard to take you to the Ionic Dashboard page. At the top of the page, you will see general information about the value of your portfolio in the net asset value area, the overall interest rate you are earning or paying on your assets in the net APR, all pools area, and the total points you have earned through your activity on Ionic. We'll explain each of these in more detail later. Just below that, you will see the Chain Selector and Markets buttons, which are identical to those on the Markets page. Finally, you will see the Your Collateral Supply field and information about the asset you supplied. Note that at this point, you'll only see those fields associated with your supplied assets, but similar ones exist for borrows and loops. We'll explain those later. But for your supplies, you'll see the following. Under Supply Assets, you'll see an icon and words representing the assets you supplied. The amount item lists the amount of the asset that you have supplied in both asset and dollar terms. Next to that, you will see the Supply APR, which is the interest rate you are earning. Finally, you will see the Withdraw and Add Collateral buttons. These are used to withdraw all or part of your supplied asset and to deposit more of the same asset, respectively. So that wraps up everything you need to know about supplying assets to Ionic using the user interface. In the next video, we'll learn about the dashboard in more detail, as well as the rest of Ionic's core functions, borrowing, repaying, and withdrawing your assets. So, until next time, thanks for watching.